What's up guys, C2113 here, and in today's video we're going to be unboxing the ATOTO A6 Pro Android double DIN head unit. Alright guys, now before I get into this unboxing real quick, I just want to say, if you noticed, my voice is a little raspy. I'm just getting over a little flu. I just always seem to have the worst luck with this sort of thing. But anyway, this is the ATOTO A6 Y2721PR model. And you can see in parentheses it says US, so this is the US model, I presume, I guess. And this thing has 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of ROM, so it's got 32 gigs of storage, which is great. Now, if you guys remember that really old Joying unit that I did, you know, it only had 2 gigs of ROM on it. It had like 256 gigs of RAM, and that thing just really dragged ass, and it really was very slow, and it had almost no room to download apps. And even though you could put in an SD card, it wouldn't treat that SD card as added ROM, so you couldn't actually install apps on it. Anyway, this thing is running a custom version coded by ATOTO of Android 6.0 Marshmallow. Now, when a lot of people hear that, they immediately say, oh, no, that's so outdated, I don't want to even touch it. I only want Oreo, or even better, Pi on whatever I'm running. But the fact of the matter is, they have custom written a skin and completely revamped Marshmallow for this unit to be highly usable and adapted for automotive use. So in an automotive setting, in an auto entertainment setting, in the in-dash setting, this thing is going to be king. And you know, I keep hearing things about this unit, and considering I just got the Marauder and it's got a data radio in it, and I want something with aux and the ability to do video, and it's got the space for a double DIN with a few modifications that are basically imperceptible, I wanted to try one of these. Now, I had done one of these in my town car, but because I went with that Joying, the quality was so bad, I took it out after 2 weeks and returned it. But this, I've got high hopes for. People praise the audio quality, the build quality, and the software quality. So with that being said, enough talking. Let's crack into this thing. Now, I picked this thing up on Amazon for $2.59 plus $15 off with a instant add-on coupon at checkout. So that means that I got this thing for $2.44. Now, $2.44 for this thing is great, considering so many of the other Android units out there have prices starting at $300. So here we go. So here's the inside of the box. This is what appears to be the GPS antenna. This, I would guess, is a cellular antenna. I think you can use this with an optional cellular tethering dongle. So if you actually want to get a simple just data plan for this thing, so you can have, you know, a constant connection in your car that doesn't require tethering from your phone, you can do that. I'll probably just tether from my phone, and that's the GPS antenna. Here's what appears to be a mounting bezel, so that's pretty cool. Here are your USB inputs. This is the input connection to the actual head unit, and then you can route these wherever you want. So that's nice as well. Very thick cable here. Here is your main primary harness. Everything is very neatly put together. The insulation is very nice and strong. Everything is pre-stripped and labeled, as you can see there. Here you have your external mic. You know, in the past, when I installed the previous Joying unit, I used the built-in mic. Honestly, if I can find an elegant way to mount it, I'll probably end up using the external mic, as long as I can mount it in a somewhat hidden way, just because I found with external mics, with these sorts of things, it sounds way better. And we've got some mounting brackets, depending on what your setup is like in your particular car. But again, you'll see when I do the installation video on the Marauder, things are tight enough that this is definitely not what you're going to need. And then here we have some documentation and 2 screen protectors. So here you have your main owner's manual, and then here is your warranty instruction and support guide. Now let's get and see what the actual unit looks like. So again, very nicely packaged. Look at all that foam padding. This thing isn't going anywhere in the box. Alright, so there's the unit. This is the back side. And this is the front side. Looks like it has some kind of protector on it. So let's go ahead and pull this off here. Again, the packaging is very nicely done. The presentation is very, very good. Much more than I expect at this price range. And actually, that actually is the screen. So as you can see there's the display. We have our touch buttons on the left-hand side, our micro SD card, a recessed reset button, volume up, volume down, home button, and a power button. There also obviously are software buttons here. It gives you the whole rear routing diagram right here. And let's take a quick look at the outputs available on the back. So you've got fins for cooling. You've got your oh, okay. All right. So my mistake, guys. That wasn't a cellular antenna, that was a Wi-Fi antenna, because I totally forgot that this thing has Wi-Fi as well, and it has a separate Wi-Fi antenna. But here is your GPS antenna, Wi-Fi antenna, here's all your audio inputs and outputs if you want to do component level, or you can have your main harness right here. Here's a direct USB-A input, and I believe that is for your tethering dongle. Here's the connector for your USB, and of course here is the FM antenna. Potentially this could be a little tricky in the Marauder since the antenna actually is routed from the right hand side and it's already pretty short from the factory, but I think there might be enough slack to make it work. And you know, that's pretty much it. So I don't want to bore you guys. What I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and read through the manual a little bit so I don't look like a total idiot, and then I'll go ahead and come back and maybe just run through the system a little bit so that you guys can see what it's like. And then the next video will be me doing the installation and the final result. Alright guys, so what I have here is I actually installed one of the included screen protectors, and you know what? The installation went pretty well. Maybe a couple of the corners don't look exactly perfect, but it's a matte finish screen protector, so this should really help with glare in the car. If the super matte finish ends up being a real hindrance on the display, it's really not that difficult to remove. But anyway, I've got this thing hooked up to the power and accessory on the positive side of my little battery, and the ground is hooked up, and I'm just going to hook it up with some jumper leads, and we'll see what happens. So when I connect this, hopefully it starts up so we can see what the OS is like. Give it a second, I guess. Seems to be booting up, and there it says ATOTO, Android in-car entertainment. Man, I gotta say, guys, that screen protector, you know, I hate to sound like Simon Cowell, but I think it's gonna be a no from me. That looks pretty damn cloudy, so you know, I might just take it off and call it a day here, but we'll see how it starts up first. Yeah, that's pretty fogged out with that screen protector. So I tell you what, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and pull that screen protector off, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So I took the screen protector off, and instantly you can see this thing is much easier to read and to see. Now, one thing that struck me as kind of odd. Hang on, I'm gonna adjust this connection because I'm fairly certain the reason it keeps turning on and off is actually that the connection to the ignition input is not exactly the tightest. Alright guys, we're back here. I think I got a more solid connection with the ignition signal input, so hopefully it stays on now. But as you can see, without that screen protector, oh, it's so much better. You know, that screen protector is just too matte. And what I was trying to say before everything started going wonky was that one of the peculiar things is just how much of a gap there actually is between the touch panel and the LCD below. But looking head on, it really isn't a problem at all. It's just that, you know, because I can move it like this and get perspective, I mean, you can see the shadow of how much of a gap there is. But the system, I mean, you can see this, it's extremely responsive. I don't think anybody would think that with something that's running 6.0 marshmallow with only 2 gigs of RAM could be this smooth, but it is. So you've got loaded Google Maps, you've got the built-in music, you've got the Bluetooth application here. This DVR, I believe, is for an optional dash cam accessory that's sort of a first party accessory. So it hooks up to the back to, actually I think that USB port in the back might do the dash cam. So that's nice because again, your dash cam now records directly to your head unit. So if you want to rewatch or search through footage, you don't have to pull the SD card out and then put it into your phone or bring it over to your laptop or something, or go home and look at it. You can check it out right here on your head unit in the car. So if something happens or you get into an accident, you can pull it right up. You've got Pandora, Spotify, Google Play Music, you got your downloads folder, you got YouTube. I think that's it. But listen, I'm gonna need a lot more time to play with this thing, and obviously I'm gonna get it installed in the car. So before I do that, this is pretty useless, but I just wanted to give you guys a little demo, a little taste of what it looks like and what the UI actually looks like. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with it. Like if we try opening anything, let's try opening Google Maps. If I open Google Maps, it's gonna ask me to sign in. I'm not gonna do all that right now. And then we hit the home button, goes home super quick. Let's test out these soft buttons on the side. Works great. We go into settings. All our settings are here. So, you know, I'm really happy with this thing so far, but that means almost nothing. So I'm pleased with what came in the box and the initial quality, but if JD Power has anything to say about it, that doesn't mean squat. So I'm gonna have to get this installed and really use it to give you my honest opinion. But of course, the next video will also be my installation video and final install overview, just to show what everything looks like and how it works. And then of course my final review might come a while after, because a lot of these things, when they fail, it's not usually within the first couple weeks or so. It's a little further down the line. So, you know, I want to be able to really feel it out. Not just how does it work, but does it keep working? But anyway, guys, if you like the video, be sure to give me a like. If you have any questions, comments, or any advice, if you own one of these head units and you have something to say about it, leave that below in the comments. And if you want to see more, be sure to get subscribed.